was a good excuse to update that stuff. And if you want, you can open the YouTube video in there that is a screencast of the prototype. Is basically what I was promising some times ago. WebEx run support for Chromium as well. And then using the same strategy, we can also support Opera. And so basically, we run at the same time Firefox and Chrome if we want. And the extension is installed on both the browsers at the same time. And when we make a change on the extension is reloaded on both the browsers at the same time. So you can like compare how your extension, that is maybe a cross-browser extension, is behaving across the different browsers. And that I think is nice to have. Small mention is that I discovered that Chrome doesn't inject the new version of the content script when you reload the add-on. So there is a workaround in this runner that reloads the current tab after he reloads the extension, so that you can see the new version of the content script running in the same tab you were looking before. And that's all.
That's rad.
That is really awesome.
So I promise that I will open the pull requests as soon as I can and work with Kumar to integrate this awesome new feature. Thank you all. And if you have questions, I'm available.
Yes, very nice.
Love it. Anyone have any questions for Luca? Okay, cool. Yeah, I just think that that's rad. And I love the video, so yay. Okay, cool. Well, so our next folk up is Chris and the AMO Outreachy Team of Awesomeness, which I think is an amazing name. Zerats, tell us more.
Yeah, this is more tell than a show because we can't show the localization yet, and async await isn't something you can actually show. So we had two Outreachy mentees in the last Outreachy season. Do you say that? So Natalia and Ravani. Natalia worked on the Add-ons linter, rewriting all of our promises code to use the much more awesome async await syntax and features of that. And she's pretty much done with that. There are just two more pull requests, changing just a few more lines of code. She basically changed all the promise related code to use async await, cleaned up a lot of our tests and other code along the side that road, and removed approximately 300 lines of code in total, so 3% of the total code for the add-ons linter. Since it's a small project, it's actually quite a lot. Yeah, that just makes the whole code in the linter much more concise and clean, much easier error handling, and so much easier to debug and follow through compared to those huge indentation blocks of code that is just unreadable and not easy to follow through. And the second outreach project we had was led by Ravneet, and she worked on localizing the add-ons linter, and that's also pretty much done and will land just in time for the end of the outreachy project. So pretty much in March, we will have localized error messages on AMO for add-on uploads for add-on developers. So I guess that's a huge step forward. And yeah, I guess one of the, or a good thing to have also for, I don't know, WebEx to step in and get localized as well. She actually added, it's a bit of a cheat because she added or got extracted about 19,000 lines of code. Well, it's just extracted lines of code, but hey, that's the stats, right? And yeah, that just makes the linters so much more awesome and so much more usable. So congrats to both of them. They're not in the call, unfortunately, but hey, it's recorded, so.
Yay. Yeah, definitely claps all the way around for the outreachy team of awesomeness. I love it. Any questions about changes coming to the linter and the project? I'm really excited about localized error messages. That sounds like that's going to be so helpful for so many folks.
Yeah, definitely.
Cool. All right, so we're going to turn it over to Kumar. Kumar, how's it going with edits? I mean, collections. I'm sorry.
Hey, it's going pretty good. My internet's a little slow, so hopefully this works out. I don't know why my internet's been slow for like 2 days. But yeah, I talked about collections briefly, and we've just, you know, I'm just moving forward on this feature. Basically, what a collection is on the AMO site, you can create a collection of add-ons, and it's pretty simple. But it's an interesting feature because there's a lot of add-ons that do the same thing. So collections kind of provide a way for people who are using the add-ons to, you know, like kind of curate a set. Maybe it's like a set developer tools or something like that. So they're pretty interesting. The thing that I'm working on now is editing a collection, and it doesn't fully work, but I thought I would just sort of show where we're at with it, because there is, yeah, there's some things I could talk about that I haven't talked about before. I don't see my screen shared, but maybe could someone say that it's shared if it is?
I see it.
Yeah.
I see it, yeah.
Okay, I also can't hear people, but maybe just ping me on IRC if you cannot hear me, and I'll just continue as if you can. All right, so there's an edit collection button. Okay, wait, maybe I should just show. Okay, this is a collection that I have that has add-ons in it. This is the collection page that you view on AMO, and when you are signed in, you can edit your collection. This isn't live yet. And we got an overlay that we didn't have before. This is a new overlay that we're going to use for forms, like some of the user profile stuff and things like that. And what I meant by not working was we just don't have all the fields yet, because really what you want to be able to do is to be able to edit the add-ons in the collection. Right now you could just edit a few things, and when you save, it will update the page. And I have on the right side of the screen here, which I'm hoping you can see, is the Redux developer tool extension. And okay, my video just now updated. Wow. Okay, I could see that I am sharing my screen. That's great. And I talked about the Redux developer tools before, and there was some issues with it because we didn't have our overlays hooked up to Redux, and so they weren't very useful because you get stuck really easily. So one really cool thing now is our overlays are completely in Redux, so I can open an overlay and close it just like you would any other action in the application. And so this is just something that is really, I don't know, if this is so exciting for me personally, just because of doing web development for so many years, and like having something like this. I just can't even explain how awesome it is, because everything in the app is something something that you could develop without having to interact with an API or set up massive kind of, you don't have to set up data. It's just here. The state is all here. And so the thing that I couldn't really describe before was that there's some states that are really hard to get into, and with the Redux having our management of state, we can get into them. And so I want to show, let's see if I could, so okay, so here's a really good example. When you click the submit button in a form, it waits for the API to accept your submission, and we want to render a state where that button is disabled. And so something like that happens, if your internet is fast, unlike my internet. If your internet is fast, that happens really fast. So it's something that's really hard to develop and to kind of just get the UI looking right and to get everything disabled. So the cancel button is disabled, the save button is disabled. So that's something, I think it's just a really powerful feature, and this is one of the reasons why we're using Redux. Redux adds a lot of complexity, so it's not something that we would do or that I would want us to do if it didn't add some really great features. So this is a great feature. You can see that I could just jump to the next action, and I could see what happened right after, and I could go back, and with our hot reloading code, I can also edit what this is saying. For example, I could go and change the text to saving the saving collection to it, and then it would reload on the page, even though I wouldn't have to go through the whole form again. So that's some of the features that are pretty exciting. And let's see, so I could also see things like right after it submits the form, I could sort of double check that it's actually going to reload all the data. And when I see that it's going to reload the correct data, like the data that I edited. So anyway, that's pretty much it to show. And coming up next is the things like editing add-ons in the collection. So thanks for listening.
Very cool, groovy stuff.
Yeah, nice stuff, Kumar.
Any questions for Kumar about what he's working on, or React, or Redux? Is it Redux? Is it React? No.
So that's not live on AMO right now, is that right, Kumar?
It's only live on the dev server, and once you could do things like edit the add-ons and things like that, then it will go live. Until then, when you click an edit link, because there is an edit link there now, but when you click that link, it goes to the legacy site, which has like the full featured old edit screen.
Do we have an anticipated time frame for when it might go live?
Yeah, I think in the next couple of weeks, because the add-ons part is what I'm doing next, and that's pretty much the last piece of it, and then it'll just be testing and kind of ironing out bugs.
So within the next month is maybe a fair estimate then?
Yeah, I think so.
Cool. Really, really cool. That's nice.
Very cool. Any other questions for Kumar? Okay, I think that's awesome. All right, well, I'm going to be showing and telling on behalf of some community members today. So I wanted to give a shout out to one of our new AMO code contributors, Sean Prashad. Sean was inspired by Mike Conley's videos, The Joy of Coding, and he made his own video about the joy of coding in AMO. So what he did is he found a bug that was marked contrib welcome, but it wasn't a good first bug, and he just kind of like explained his thought process as he tried to fix it. It's really great to see his enthusiasm. If you haven't checked out the video yet, I would encourage you to do that. We sent him a couple of stickers in thanks, and he was like the most excited about the stickers. So like really nice feelings all the way around. He's one of our Great Northern contributors, so anyone in the Toronto area who maybe wants to say hi to him at some point, that would be pretty sweet. The other thing I wanted to give a hats off to was one of our developers, Cynthia Perea. I feel like I'm massacring her last name there. Cynthia was inspired by Sean Martel's Quantum Lights dynamic theme, and she expanded on that and has made a pretty awesome dynamic theme that changes, I think, 5 times a day with some pretty nifty colors. So I installed it. I've been running it for about a week. It's really pretty. I like it a lot. So I just wanted to show a quick screenshot of what the different colors come up. So it's nice to see developers starting to really get into dynamic theme and start exploring to see like some of the ways that they can manipulate them and customize Firefox. So those are my tells. Does anyone else want to show or tell something interesting? Jorge? Chris? Mike?
I don't have anything today.
Okay. All right. Well, cool. Well, so then I think we can go ahead and wrap this up. This has been short but sweet. It looks like there's some awesome stuff happening. So thanks everybody for coming today and sharing with us. And we'll catch you next month.
Thanks,
Thank you.
everyone.
All right, everyone. Bye.